You're listening to the Social Selling Simplified podcast. Stick around if you too are obsessed with learning things that actually work and believe that success leaves clues. We're all about identifying results-producing roadmaps and getting super clear on how to scale and grow your online business. From part-timer to president, social selling expert Ashley Shaw will help you connect the dots and take the guesswork out of what works to grow a social selling empire. It's time to hear from social selling legends, listen in on truthful conversations, and learn the best tips and tricks to reduce the marketing overwhelm so you can build the social selling business of your dreams. If you're ready to go all in, no holding back, and build the business you've always wanted, you're in the right place. Here's your host, educator, social selling guru, and fitness industry OG, Ashley Shaw.
Welcome to Social Selling Simplified. I'm your host, Ashley Shaw, and today I have Lindsey Tronolone here. And she has been in network marketing for the past 2.5 years, and she is an entrepreneur in the cannabis industry. So she's a CBD CEO and the founder of Social CEO. She is a full-time entrepreneur working 20 hours a week, bringing home a full-time income. And we are going to dive into all things, cutting the learning curve and really diving into how social media content is the easiest and fastest way to get your business up and running. So thank you so much for being here today, Lindsey.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I'm super excited to be on here, just to be able to share a little bit about my story. Totally appreciate you and super excited to dive into this content.
Yay. So I've read through some of your stats and there's so many things that stand out that I am pumped to dive into just to be able to share what's working. And I want to start off first though by diving into your story. So can you tell us a little bit about how you got started as a network marketer, but also diving into this portion about how it became, your passion to work in the cannabis industry?
Absolutely. One of the most beautiful things about the network marketing space is literally anybody can come in and find success. So for me, when I found the industry, I was a new mom. My son was about 6 months old at the time. After his delivery, we got hit with some massive medical bills due to a loophole in my insurance. So at the time, my husband was a sole income provider. And although he is amazing, love of my life, working his butt off to help support us, I honestly wanted to be able to contribute as well. I have been working since I was 13 years old. It's a huge part of what's been instilled in me from day one. Earn the money, don't live outside your means, like cover your bills, save money, retirement, the whole thing, go to school, go to college, the whole thing that we're taught. But what I found was, okay, now I'm a new mom. I was at the time struggling with some very intense postpartum depression and anxiety. So the thought of leaving my son at daycare to go back to the 9-to-5 grind terrified me. I just was not in a good place. So ultimately, I decided, okay, hey, let me search the good old Facebook and see what's out there for me. What are my options? And I tried everything. I was sending emails for like 5 cents an email. I was doing all these different things and nothing was paying off for the amount of time that I was putting into it. And then I found network marketing. And prior to that, I was a huge skeptic. Like, no way. I would see these girls post on Facebook like, this is crap. Like, they're not making money. I don't believe it. Like, I was a huge hater until I needed the opportunity. And I can tell you guys, if you're listening to this and maybe you felt that way or feel that way, this is an opportunity that will come into your life when you need it most. So for me, I saw a friend posting on Facebook and I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I see that you're making money. I also need money. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? And that was it. From day one, I had those butterflies. I had that excitement, that fire. It really brought me out of a very dark place that I was in. I was, a new mom, you're secluded, you're dealing with all kinds of craziness, hormones, like all of these different things on top of, the postpartum stuff that I was dealing with. And I really didn't know network marketing would do as much for me as it did. I was looking to make an extra $250 a month. That's it. What I found was It ignited my fire. It gave me a new project. It created this passion for me, get involved to help people. It allowed me to step outside my comfort zone and see like what I was actually capable of, opened so many doors, introduced me to so many incredible people. And for that, I am truly thankful. So that's kind of just a little bit about how I got started. The first company I said yes to was not my forever company. I will never throw shade on people that decide, one opportunity is not for them anymore, because honestly, like, I truly believe you have to find the right fit for you. You've got to be passionate about the product, et cetera, et cetera. So although the first company was not my forever company, I learned a ton there, and obviously super grateful that that was my introductory to the industry. But now I work with a CBD oil company. I'm in the cannabis industry. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, just struggling with postpartum depression and anxiety, taking pharmaceutical meds, it was not something that I enjoyed. So to be able to work in an industry where there's a natural option and truly just educating people on the cannabis space is something that just lights me up.
So, and can you share a little bit about your story with how working in the cannabis industry, like what was this sort of full circle moment for you that cannabis, like helped you through the postpartum?
Yeah, absolutely. So my son is 3 now. So at the time when I found CBD oil, because it's still very much a new industry, when I found it, I was in the middle on top of, having a small kid, and my husband is a boat captain. So he travels a ton. He's gone for months at a time sometimes. On top of all that, we had just purchased our first house together. We were doing a full-blown renovation on it, and I was overseeing all of it. So I was a crazy person. I was not sleeping. I was dealing with anxiety. I was going through all these things. I was not my best self. So when I found CBD, and I was like, I did my research because it is an unregulated industry. There's all kinds of craziness on the market right now. So I wanted to be sure, just like anything else, that I was getting a quality product. So I tried a bunch of different brands. And ultimately, when I found the company that I've partnered with, it changed everything for me. I basically was transformed into the bubbly, energetic person that you can see, that you can hear today. Whereas before, I wasn't that person. I was, argumentative and just grumpy and mom life and all the things. So when I found this product and I saw what it did for me, it was like a whole new door opened, opportunity like rained down on me. And I was like, holy cow, like I've got to tell people about this, because I know there are people out there struggling like I was. And I just want to share with them that this could be an option for them too.
And so in regards to the difference between CBD, I think a lot of people get caught up when they hear the word cannabis, but don't understand that obviously not all cannabis is created equal. So can you talk a little bit about what CBD, like the difference is when you are consuming or using a CBD product versus maybe what everyone else has in their mind about
Absolutely.
Cannabis?
Yeah. And being in the industry now for, 16 months, I've heard it all. Like the range of different things that people think is what's actually happening. So the number one question I get is, will CBD get you high? Because there's because it comes from the hemp plant, which is in the cannabis family, people assume, okay, it must be like marijuana. It's going to get me high. It will not. It will not at all. Although the plant does have a very trace amount of THC in it, it will not get you high. There's 0 psychoactive effects, 0 habit forming. It's not addictive. So that is the number one misconception that I get. The other thing that you really want to be aware of, because the media is hyping CBD and cannabis and medical marijuana so much right now. Although it's exciting for those of us who are in the industry because it's free advertising, the other thing you want to be very aware of is that businesses will always jump on a trend. And if they're trying to make a quick profit, they will cut corners on their product, which leaves the consumer with either a bad experience or no experience at all, which is why one of the other objections that I come across is, well, I tried CBD and it didn't do anything for me. And my next question is, well, where did you buy it? Did you read the ingredients list? Is it just water? Is it MCT oil instead of CBD oil? Like, it's all of these different questions. But that for me, it's like piecing together a puzzle, because I truly believe when you speak to people and you want to educate them rather than just take their money, which I think is a big no-no in this industry. I just want to help the person that I'm speaking with make the most educated decision for them. If they buy from me, amazing. If they don't, at least I know they've gone away with a better understanding of what it is that their body actually needs, a pure product, with third-party testing that carries the U.S. Hemp Authority seal of approval, all of these different things so that they are more educated and leave our conversation in a better frame of mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a really important piece because I know I really struggled back when I was working in corporate like 5 or 6 years ago. Just my anxiety was through the roof, and CBD seemed to be just one of those things that would help me relax. And again, all the things that you've said, like no psychoactive ingredients and all that stuff, I don't do well with that at all. But it was just such a lifesaver for me. And I know like just multiple people like PTSD, like people in my family suffering from that. And this has been like the one thing that has helped them. So I just think it's so cool what you're, the industry and what you're doing. And there's so much that is to be explored there. So such an up and coming and cool industry to be in.
Yes.
Yes, I love it. So I want to talk about, you had said, when we were just chatting here about, I loved how you said this, Spamela Anderson, and just talking about, social media content, what it really takes to be successful. So let's start there. Let's talk about, your philosophy around social media content and where this belief comes from that it's the easiest and fastest way to grow your business.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love this question because this is truly what lights me up. So yes, I am a recovering Pamela Anderson. When I was brand new to the industry, I was taught to post 6 to 8 times a day about my business or product only on Facebook, on Instagram, like reach out to 50 to 100 people, cold message them with the quote unquote, hey girl, you look like you'd be a great product model for me. I did that because I was coachable and I was excited about the industry, but I hated the way it made me feel and I felt icky. I did not feel good about it. So when I left that company and I transitioned to where I am now, I invested in coaching on people who were teaching, hey, it's not all about your product. Actually, it's about you. People will fall in love with you, learn to like you, get to know you, learn to trust you, and then ultimately they would buy from you if they chose to do it, if your product fit their needs. So for me, that revolutionized the way I did business. And I quickly started to realize that the more I shared about my story on Facebook, the things I was learning, the obstacles I was overcoming, the more people wanted to connect with me. Learning that and moving forward now, one, I felt good about what I was posting. It felt authentic to me. And if you are truly looking to be a powerhouse, close more sales in your business, authenticity is key. People find out you're fake or that you're lying about what you're posting about. Bad things will happen. Word of mouth spreads very quickly. So authenticity was key. I felt better about what I was doing. And shocker, people wanted to engage with me more. People stopped ghosting me as much in Messenger when I started talking about what it is that I was doing. They wanted to follow my journey. They were excited about my wins because they had seen how far I had come. So sharing your story on social media, talking about your business in a way that it's more like just a kind of a project that you're involved with versus like the only thing you care about. Allows people to really get to know who you are, talking about my family, talking about, all of the things that the business was doing for us, sharing that aspect versus here's my paycheck, here's my Lamborghini, here's my Louis Vuitton, because ultimately what that ends up breeding is people on social media who idolize you but think that they could never do that, or people on social media who resent you because they think that they could never do that. Versus, when you kind of go the other route, build relationships, tell your story, your obstacles, talk about your pain points before you talk about your wins, and really just allow people to understand, hey, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It does require work. However, the ability to run a full-time business from your smartphone is something that this planet has never seen prior to the last 10 years. So having the ability to tell that story on social media, and more importantly, teaching people to do the same has been so rewarding, I think is really the best word, because helping yourself grow feels great. But helping other people grow, helping my team earn their first paycheck, earn their first comma check, hit that rank advancement bonus, whatever, is the most rewarding thing ultimately. And it all starts with social media. It all starts with sharing your story, using attraction marketing to talk about your business, but doing it in a way that builds relationships rather than just tries to take money from people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I love the way that you phrase that about, the storytelling and sharing more of yourself is what actually will get people more interested. Cause I hear it all the time from social sellers that they get in this rut of thinking the only way that I will sell more is if I'm more salesy. So I need to send 100 hey girl messages a day. And there's this like internal battle of, I hate doing this, but I'm being told that this is the only way. And it's this like broken loop of my values don't align with this. Cause,
Yes.
like when you get that message, like, hey girl, I think these leggings would look great on you. And you're like, dude, like you don't even know me. Like you get that sort of stuff and you get an icky feeling, right? So I love how that is part of exactly what you teach because I'm the exact same. I totally believe there's a different way. And I'm a big believer that I would never tell someone to do something that I wouldn't feel comfortable doing myself.
Exactly.
That's definitely a big component of this. And back in my network marketing days, I used to sell knives. I would do these knife demonstrations at people's houses. And I just remember there were a couple of things in the script that I just didn't feel right about. So I would tweak it a little bit, but keep testing stuff until it felt right. But then I could also see a result from it. So
Exactly.
it's, and that's what it's really about is
it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
It is you're not going to come out of the gate with the perfect script because you haven't found your voice yet. But ultimately, and it sounds like we are in agreement on this, I do think if you want to build quickly, you have to connect with more people. The person who talks to the most people always wins. Yeah. However, what I've taken that concept, which I genuinely believe in, but partnered it with a coaching method, a training method for my team that says, hey, yes, you should talk to a lot of people if you want to grow quickly. However, sending the same spammy message to this new 100 people, one, will send you to Facebook jail, but two, you're not going to get great results from it. So why don't we cater the message a little bit more towards your story, how you want to train people, how you want to teach people, and introduce them that way. And it's true. It's just been such a game changer and people feel good about it, which is huge.
Yeah, exactly. There's no denying it that sales is always going to be a numbers game. You start with the top of your funnel and you work your way down through that funnel of people that respond and people that are interested, etc. So I absolutely love that. It's just a matter of how you tweak those messages because you've still got to be sending them. You've got to be getting more and more people in front of you. The more people that are in front of you, the more people that at the end of the day are going to love what you have to offer and want to partner with you and all that stuff. So I want to talk about this idea of the numbers are just staggering. You've had 105 new affiliates this month. Which, that's incredible. And obviously this is a part of what you teach your team, how to cut that learning curve. And I want to get into that formula. How are you teaching this to your team? And what do you think are the key components of success here?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you. I want to encourage you guys who are listening to this. It wasn't like I just did this overnight. This was a work in progress. And I think sometimes on social media, we see people and we're like, well, they're having more success than me. I've been in way longer than them. What am I doing wrong? Mm-hmm. So it's important to remember that it takes time and you have to find your flow. So for me, the easiest way, I utilize Facebook groups, especially the units section, which is relatively new in the past, year or so, is really a vital way to get simple, keyword here. Everything I do is as simple as possible. I'm talking 3 steps or less. Because if you sign a new person and you give them a 10-page report on all the things they have to do, they're going to look at that 10 pages and go, this is not for me. I immediately regret my decision. I'm never going to have time. I don't have the skills, et cetera, et cetera. And you've lost someone who's already said yes to you. Yeah. So really simplifying the process, using the tools that Facebook has provided for the Facebook group application, and really just telling people, hey, what are your goals? That's the number one thing. When I sign a new affiliate, I'll just kind of walk you through it if that works for you. When I bring a new person in, I schedule a call with them within 48 hours. And I'm asking them, hey, what are your goals? because someone who wants to make $500 a month and someone that wants to make $5,000 a month are two very different game plans. So I need to know that as their leader, as their coach. What are your goals? How much time do you have to invest in these goals? And a lot of this, I'm actually currently working directly with Eric Worre. This is his coaching, his training. So I am not taking credit for this, but asking those questions, how much money do you want to make? How much time do you have to invest? And how long are you willing to invest that time? If it's a month, is it 6 months? Is it a year? Are you willing to get to an event? So I'm asking these questions of my new person. Very simply, I'm not on the phone for longer than 10 minutes because time is money and people's time is precious. So, but I gather this information and I say, okay, these are your next 3 steps. When you're done with these 3 steps, message me and we'll move forward from there. Now, everybody hears the word 3 steps and they go, okay, 3 steps. I can totally do that. Like no big deal. Rather than watch this hour-long training and then take notes and then et cetera, et cetera. And after that initial meeting, and I give them that quote unquote homework, then I know who's actually in it to win, who's going to do the steps. Because the people that get back to me in 24 hours that are like, hey, I'm done, versus the people that get back to me in 3 days that say, hey, I'm done. I'm going to spend more time and attention with that person that got back to me faster because they clearly are hungrier than the other person. Now, it's not to say that other person won't have success, but my main focus is to get the people that want it now results as quickly as possible. Because the statistics in the network marketing industry are shocking. Like all you have to do is teach your new affiliate how to earn $1, not even earn their initial investment back. And they are more likely to stay longer than someone who never earns even that $1. So obviously my first goal is to let's get your initial investment back because that speaks to people, but really just plugging them into a simple system using the Facebook groups, using the unit section, basic training to get them rolling as quickly as possible.
Okay. And so this is basically what you use with everyone that you're recruiting with
Correct.
the Facebook. Okay. What I love about that, it's like goal setting 101, but it's also like this idea of production with permission. When I tell you this is what I want to achieve, I've now committed to that, but without it being this forceful commitment. It's like, I've told you, now I've said it, it's real. You can hold me accountable to that. And this idea of earning $1, like teaching someone to fish, for themselves. I really love that. Okay, cool. Is there any other secret sauce about this? You've made it super simple, which I love. Like I'm all about that. Is there anything else besides these 3 steps? And maybe you can tell us a little bit more about these 3 steps, but yeah, what else do we need to know to be able to implement this?
Sure. So the basic 3 steps are step 1 is the easiest step. Be sure that you're in our 2 groups. We have one group for the team that's got all the training. The other group is product and testimonials. And this is where you would add someone who's potentially interested in the business to give them a glimpse of, what it is that we do, the products that we offer. That's step 1. So immediately most people are like, oh, I already done step 1. Easy. What's step 2? Step 2 is watch this one training video. It's under 10 minutes. It's going to give you basically the most simplistic way to get started. Okay. And like I said, I made that video myself. I wanted it to be very short and sweet. Watch this 10-minute, I think it's like 8-minute video. And when you're done, message me your 2 biggest takeaways. Simple. And then the third part of the process is, it's actually kind of like a 2-part process. One is let's pick a date to launch your business on social media. Launching your business is everything. If people don't know that you're in business, you will never make a sale. And then the second part of that is think of 5 people who know and love you in your hot market who would support you like no matter what. I'm talking your mom, your sister, your best friend, your coworker, whatever, people that just love you, genuinely love you, and ask them, hey, I've started this new business. I would really love to get some feedback on my product. Can I count on you, to kind of help me out, to try the product for 30 days and let me know what you think? And most people, 5 people is not a big number. And honestly, in my experience, people want to come out and they just want to like make a post and pray that 100 people jump in their inbox and they ignore this, low hanging fruit of their close friends and family. So that's my goal. These people are going to buy from you. Get that win under your belt, feel good about it, get some money coming in, and then we'll tackle the strangers on the internet.
Yeah.
And the other part of that is consistency, setting realistic expectations. I am the first to say, listen, if you're not willing to post on social media, don't expect to get paid on social media. When I started looking personally in my growth, in my story, when I started looking at my live videos as a paycheck, everything changed because I knew if I didn't use live video, I wasn't going to get paid. I was potentially losing out on connecting with people to join my business or try my product. So consistency, realistic expectations, utilizing, live video, connecting with people on social media, telling your story. I kind of move into that as the person is more and more committed. But those 3 simple steps right up front, get them into action, not into training mode. Because again, if you throw a 10-page paper at them, if you throw an hour-long training at them, you may never hear from them again. So yeah, that's basically kind of the nuts and bolts of it. But the majority of it is realistic expectations and action. And, launching your business publicly, and let's hit the ground running.
And so I can see why people stay with you because you, really just nailed that. Like people that produce results, it comes from a product of feeling good about themselves. So a simple 3-step process is like bang on. So how have you done? Let's switch gears here a little bit. Like you've obviously attracted a ton of people. And this is usually where social sellers have the most trouble is that, it would be lovely for them to need more of a strategy on the people they have attracted. But normally they have this hiccup of like actually getting people that want to work the business and attracting them to that. And I know that that will tie into your social media content and how you dive into that and the formula you use there. So can you tell us a little bit more about how you go about that?
Yeah. So I just want to understand the question, like how to get more engagement or more people on their actual content.
So I guess the question I'm wondering is like, obviously getting people interested in the business is going to be a part of this first before they like decide to join you. So what is your strategy around getting lots of people interested? And I am assuming that has to do with how you post on social.
Again, my journey and what I've learned and what's worked and what's duplicating for my team is storytelling, because people don't care about a product. They don't. It doesn't tug on their heartstrings. It doesn't make them feel happy. It's just a product. People are buying things every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because they feel an emotional attachment to that product or opportunity or service, whatever. So telling your story is the first thing that I teach people to understand. Don't be afraid. Like there's a reason why I said yes. There's a reason why you said yes. What was your reason? Was it because you saw a testimonial of a stay-at-home mom who was able to pay her electric bill because of her side hustle? Was it because you saw the product help someone with, anxiety, sleeplessness, aches and pain? Like, was it that? Because you also struggle with those things? Really take a good hard look at why you said yes, and then transfer that into your own story on social media. And what I like to do is I teach them how to craft a story post or a testimony post. And it starts with, what was your pain? What was your struggle? Do you have more months than money? Or were you looking for like a natural option to help you with XYZ? Like, what was your pain point? What changed? Okay. You said yes to an opportunity. You decided to give a product a try. You had tried other products that didn't work. So how is this one different? I kind of touch on that. And then finally, what's different now? Okay, what's better now that you did make that change, that you did say yes? And when you use that basic storytelling format, and I hope any of you who are listening, like, please use this because it works. When you use that basic storytelling format and you talk about the pain point first, people are 9 times more likely, I want to say 100, but nothing's 100, 90%, more likely to say, hey, what is this? What are you doing? Me, my wife, my husband, my son, my pet, my grandma, also my neighbor struggles with this too. Can you tell me a little bit more? And that's all we're looking for. That one little door that opens where someone says, hey, what are you doing? And I know every company is different, but I know from there, there's a tool. For us, we utilize ClickFunnels. So we plug them into a video, captures their information. Now we've got a system that's marketing to them, etc., so that you can just focus on building the relationship. If it's a video, amazing. If it's a Facebook group, awesome. Whatever that tool is, then you would introduce it. But really telling that story, starting with the pain and working people through your journey is going to pique their interest more than, hey, here's my bottle of amazing yummy juice. It's $29.99. Like, do you want to buy it? Because no one wants to buy that because there's no emotional attachment.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that's super important about that is sharing the highs and the lows. So, being vulnerable, kind of getting outside your comfort zone a little bit and saying, for me, telling people that I struggled with postpartum was tough in the beginning because I was ashamed of that struggle. I wanted people to think I had it all together when I didn't. And I think that's a lot of moms go through that. So really opening up and sharing that side of my journey helped me to connect with so many more people because people are literally like, me too. Like I'm dealing with this, or I dealt with that, or thank you. I'm glad it's not just me. So crafting those social media posts from that aspect gets way more engagement, way more love, way more connections than just, hey, here's my link. Do you want to join my team?
Absolutely. And so where would be all the places that you would have your calls to action? Do you have like a certain number of posts that you do before you have a call to action? Do you have them in most posts? Where do you put those calls to action?
So the Facebook algorithm changes all the time. And this is something that really intrigues me. So I'm kind of like a nerd about it. But ultimately, I break it down by number of days or 7 days in a week.
Yeah.
So 4 of my social media posts are going to be lifestyle related, nothing to do with my product or business. Okay. 2 of my social media posts are going to be curiosity posts, storytelling posts, testimonial posts. Maybe I had a business win. Maybe one of my team members had a business win, something like that. Again, I'm never saying the name of the company because attraction marketing, I want people to come to me. And then one of my posts every single week is a hard sell. And what I mean by that is I'm going live or someone on my team is going live talking specifically about the product and the opportunity. We are not beating around the bush. This is what we're here to talk about here. And what's worked for me, and I will give credit where credit is due, Jessie Lee Ward is the queen of this. I learned this through, following her journey too, among other, coaches out there too, but really her specifically. When you do that, people have watched you throughout the week. They've seen, okay, they're not just trying to take my money. They are a mom. They do struggle. They are kind of funny. Oh, they're into gardening or painting or whatever those lifestyle posts are telling that story. Then, oh, you've piqued me with 2 curiosity posts like, oh, I saw you made a post about this dog that had, separation anxiety and now they're much better now. I have a dog that does that also. Like, what are you using? I piqued that interest. So then when I come in with the hard sell, I go in and I say, this is what we do. This is what we offer. If you're interested, now's the time to comment below or get back with the person who shared this video with you so that you can get your questions answered, so that we can plug you into our cannabis community so that you can see XYZ. So I do those calls to action are during the week on my curiosity posts. I don't really ever come out and say like, if you want info, drop a heart below unless it's like a giveaway or something.
Right.
Because most of the time, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. And the way the algorithm works now is it reads your words. It knows if you're trying to sell something because, and this is like a little bit of a tangent, but you've got to start to think about when you're running a business on social media. Facebook wants people to focus on the people that are using paid ads because they're paying Facebook.
Yeah.
Correct. It makes sense. Like if someone's paying for a paid ad, Facebook wants people to get value from that. So you've got to think, when you're posting on social media, if you're always like, buy now, join my team, BOGO sale, blah, 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 all these very salesy terms, the algorithm is going to recognize that and it's not going to show your post to people because you're not a paid advertiser. So that's why those curiosity posts are key. And utilizing different vocabulary to quote unquote get a call to action, you don't really have to do. That's why that one live video a week is like the power punch. Like you're coming in and saying, now's the time to message me to get back with the person who shared this with you. If you have a question, let's chat, those types of things.
Yeah, so very true. Like the Facebook algorithm is really tricky, especially when they have different rules about personal accounts and they want you to have a business account. They want you to be advertising. So I love that. I think it is like you can be really creative with that. And the other thing is with video, I hear all the time from social sellers, they're apprehensive about doing video and stuff like that. And I always say, like, dude, like nobody's going to watch a video they don't want to watch. So don't be like worried you're going to get all this attention. And like, it's a bunch of people that are like haters on the outs. Like that just, it's not going to happen. Just keep showing up as yourself. The rest just falls into place.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, have I gotten a hater or two? Of course. But I just invite them to my block party and we're done. They're not there anymore. So it's just, if you
awesome.
if you live in that fear state of mind, constantly worried, what are people going to think? Your business won't grow. And that is like the red personality in me, but it's the truth. If you stick, fear will keep you stuck. So will it be awkward? Was I like a hot, sweaty mess on my first 3 months of video? Absolutely. Did I have fancy technology? No. Did my cell phone fall off my stack of books more than once? Of course. But every day I did it, I got a little bit better. And now it's like a second nature to me. And people are attracted to that. So that's why I say, share your journey. Save those old live videos and show how far that you've come. And don't be afraid to push that button, because that's how you're going to connect with the most people the fastest.
Oh, I love all of that. Lindsey, you have provided us with so many great, easy things to think about. Thank you so much. And so if there are people out there, they're definitely going to want to know more about you and how to find you. You've just provided so much value today. Where's the best place for them to do that?
Yes, you can find me on Facebook, Lindsey Tronolone, or on Instagram, it's Lindsey Tron, and it's Lindsey with an EY, so Lindsey. So find me, let's connect, let's chat. I'm happy to help in any way that I can.
Perfect. And Tronolone is Tronolone. Just in case you guys are looking that up.
Well done.
Awesome. Yes. All right. Thank you so much for being on the show today, Lindsey. I so appreciate it.
You're so welcome.
If you're like most coaches out there, you may be wondering, what is the secret to engagement? You've started to hone in on your captions. You're starting to really connect with your ideal customer, but something is still missing. Listen, I totally get it. It can be really frustrating to try to get engagement from your ideal customers when you feel like you're putting your heart and soul into everything that you're putting out there. And that's why I'm creating a photo and video workshop with my videographer and photographer friend, Shauna Yurko. What we're going to be doing is going through the ultimate guide to taking the best photos that capture your ideal customer's attention. And this is without any crazy cameras, and with being able to do this all from the comfort of your phone and by yourself. You're not going to want to miss this workshop. To find out more, go to ashleyshaw.ca/photo workshop. That's ashleyshaw.ca/photo workshop. We'll see you on the other side of the next episode.